I must admit, I was worried at the beginning, but you've done well.
Thanks, man.
We'll be bringing a new calm, one that will last forever.
All those teachings, what were they for?
There's something I want to say before the fight. I guess I didn't know anything about the Al Bhed. Didn't know anything. Didn't want to listen to anything. I was a big jerk. So, I'm sorry, huh? Please forgive me.
Don't let it bother you. Hey, I'm guilty of hating those darn Yevonites myself. Well, there's a lot of folk in this world. Some of them good, some of them bad. That's all there is to it.
Those darn Yevonites! Sid's accent is so different to every other Al Bhed. It's so strange.
You keep walking path forward. Kimari watch the rear.
Alright.
Lady Yuna has become quite the summoner. A gentle nature, yet strong as steel. She reminds me of her parents.
Yuna's old man was a priest of Yevon, but he married an Al Bhed, huh?
Lord Braska wanted peace between his people and ours. He would occasionally visit the home of those days.
So that's how he met Sid's sister?
They ran off together into the night.
Sounds like love. Wow, Sid must have been furious.
Yes, he wouldn't talk to her after that. But when Yuna was born, they made up again. His sister took off for home at once. But then her ship.
Sin.
That incident turned Lord Braska down the summoner's path.
Everything leads back to Sin.
But you'll put an end to it.
With a vengeance.
I pray for your success.
Thanks, Rin.
May I help you?
You're still gonna charge me lots of money for the items, though. It's understandable.
Thank you.
Let's have a chat with some of the Al Bhed. I know some of them have something to say about an interesting place we want to go. Hey, who are you exactly again? Lakam. Okay. Age of Machina. To Baaj. The Hymn of the Faith in Baaj. Interesting. Let us kick the blitzball. You're right, man. Well, to Baaj is actually where we're going to go. Once we get there, you might recognize what it's like. First, let's save.
The final showdown with Sheen. I say let's get this show on the road!
With Sheen. I don't know why he says Sheen. We're not going to Sin just yet. We're gonna go back to the High Bridge once more.
Yeehaw! Here we go!
Hold there! This bridge is closed. Bavel is off limits by the temple's decree. No one may enter.
Huh?
Everyone's in mourning since Maester Micah died. And it's been mourning for days now.
Passe. At least that's what they say. The temple's falling apart with all 4 maesters gone. They're afraid of riots, so they're turning everyone away. With our brother in the middle.
What's up with Isaru?
They came crying to him to stay in Bavel, to protect the temple and all that. And you know our brother. It's not in him to refuse.
Oh, I guess our pilgrimage is done then, huh?
Of course not. Jeez. Long story short, you'll only find trouble in Bavel. I'd stay out for your own safety.
Thanks, Maroda. That's really the last thing we're going to do here in the High Bridge. We're done with that for now. Next up, side quest time. And first up is to do what we said we were going to do a while ago. And
The
power up,
final showdown with...
and power up Titus's sword. We haven't fully upgraded a celestial weapon before, so we're going to do that right now. Let's go to Lake Macalania.
Yeehaw! Here we
Here
go!
we go! Put this in the ice part, which is actually interesting, but not a big deal. That's the chest that Klaska was standing in front of with this chocobo earlier. We have it now. It's this way for the special thing, I think? Yes, it is. As we walk this glowy path, we get to the part where we upgraded the cloudy mirror to the celestial mirror. And here we're going to upgrade as many weapons as we can. We don't have that many. We're going to upgrade the ones we have used the celestial weapons. Titus shall present the weapon with the sun crest that we got right after defeating Yunalesca. The weapon's power has grown. As you can see, still not that good. It just added double overdrive. However, what the crests do, actually, is, and this doesn't really say anywhere, they just do, is that individual weapons unlock break damage limit for Yuna's overdrives. I don't remember which one does what. I think this one does something for someone. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But the point is, like, the more crests you add to weapons, the more individual ANs will have break damage limit. But the most important part is, we have the Sun Sigil after doing all that chocobo racing earlier. The weapon attains its maximum power. Now, we're talking. Calabulg, break damage limit, triple overdrive, evade and counter, and magic counter. Titus just became the best character of us all. Right, who else has an actual weapon? I believe Yuna does. And Aaron doesn't. I think only Yuna right now. So let's power up Yuna's weapon. Because remember, extremely early on, when we got to Besaid, like very early, before we even talked to Waka the first time, we got the Moon Crest. The weapon's power has grown. This, I do think that I remember that the Moon Crest makes Valifor able to overkill. So if we had done this before actually fighting Yunalesca, the Valifor overdrive would have gotten overkill, and I wouldn't have to go back and do the thing with Bahamut. Either way, that's a good start. Next up, I am going to go back and get a couple more Celestial Weapons with a bunch of people. But before that, we are going to go to Baaj Temple to get something pretty cool. Let's go use the save sphere here.
The final showdown with Sheen. I say let's get this show on the road!
Now, I can't remember how you are supposed to know this thing is here, but if you know roughly where the map is, you can sort of try to figure out where you were in the beginning. And if you remember, the beginning was on that little area. So you try to sort of search in this area, and you press a button, and you locate Baaj Temple. And that means you can now travel there.
Yeehaw! Here we go!
We're going to save here. But I am going to equip Titus's weapon because, goddamn, it's cool. And then he doesn't really have anything that great otherwise, so might as well get the one he already has. It's going to be a water fight, which means, of course, Riku and Waka. Let's make sure he has Well, he has a lot of crappy weapons. We'll be selling a bunch of them. Eventually we'll only have the ones that we need. We might as well let us capture stuff. First strike is nice. No encounters? Sure. There's no encounters there anyway, but you might as well. Initiative. Maybe evade encounter then? Yeah, evade encounter. And... sure, let's get pep talk. That wasn't pep talk. That's pep talk. Enrique seems okay. SOS Reflect, that could be horrible. And Beast Roll, no. Let's keep what we have. Oop, almost saved an extra file. Okay, there we go. You can actually go around, if we missed any of the chests really early on, you can go back and find them here. So it's like, oh no, I missed the chest here, but we didn't. Of course, they're not going to be that great items since it was the chest we found at the very beginning of the game. So, to the water we go.
What's up? Something here?
I almost got eaten by a fiend here. Payback time.
I get the picture. All right, let's go.
Payback time. Remember that thing almost killed Titus the first time he actually came to Spera. There's something else to do now, though. Kill it. Choice ambitious, but we're ready. We're ready for it. Now, let's show off how strong Riku can actually be. I've barely used her overdrive throughout this playthrough, but this time I'm gonna show off some of the most amazing stuff you can do. We can fight this guy normally. It's not that awful. He has a couple of tricky moves, but we can probably beat him, but I just want to show off this because it is awesome. If you remember, we got these Wings of Discovery for doing some of the Chocobo chest thing in the Remaster Temple. We got 30 of those. Now, Wings to Discovery is a pretty powerful item used for customization and so on. Mainly for armor, you can get break HP limit, and you can get triple AP on weapons. We'll have other ways to get triple HP, and break HP limit is not actually that interested right now. So we're going to mix 2 Wings of Discovery together and get Trio of 999. And there you go. Trio of 999, you can get that pretty early. Like, as soon as you get to Calm Lands, grab those things, you can then basically have that every time you fight with something with Riku. It does make everything extremely easy though, so most of the time I don't bother. Still, I like using it now. Feels kind of fitting. Dive! 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 He's diving really slowly, but he is diving. This is where we came for, after all. Get inside here. Wait, was that something? No. Before we go there, there's an item I want to find. I thought it was in this room. Okay, let's do some exploring. I misremembered. There's a chest here. Somewhere. Anything? Found it! The celestial mirror seems to react. The Onion Knight as Lulu's celestial weapon. What did we get from him? I know there was something I should have double checked. The ductile rod. Yeah. We got a weapon with no encounters. You're not supposed to have no encounters on weapons. It's the same deal as the... remember we bought that armor that had magic counter. Magic counter is supposed to go on weapons. Same as no encounters is supposed to go on armors. But that's cool though. We now have 3 different ways of getting no encounters. We have 2 armors for... one for Waka and one for Oron. That we got from killing ghosts in the sunken cavern of the stolen faith. And now we also have a weapon for Yuna. So if we ever need to run somewhere with no encounters, we're good to go. And we will do for quite a bit when we don't want to waste time. But first, there's some story to be told. All of these things, these little statues here, indicate that we have gotten the Destruction Sphere Thresher. Thresher? Thresher. Each seal needs to be broken, and we have done just that. If we hadn't done it at the time, we would have needed to go back and do it now. But we would have had to face some seriously difficult enemies in some of the temples, sadly. And the last one. Remember what the Albert guy said? He faintly heard the hymn of the faith.
You are Maester Seymour's mother.
So you know, yet still you seek my aid. My son, do you not hate him? It is all right. He is the one who sowed the seeds of hatred. He is to blame. But I am at fault for letting him become what he was. He was always alone, half guardo, half man. I wanted to give him the strength to live by himself. And so I became a faith. But because I let him taste power, he began to thirst for more. He was not satisfied with my Aeon. He wanted more power.
And he found sin.
Yes. Come, summoner. I will bestow you with my power. The Dark Aeon, Anima. Destroy sin, and my son's obsession with it. Though it is small recompense for what I did to him.
Anima is ours. Yet another time when it's weird that we can rename it, considering it was literally voiced right now. But here we go. Anima is so strong. She's one of the absolute strongest Aeons. Like, just compare her strength to even Bahamut. 79 to his 57. With Anima, Yuna becomes a true powerhouse, like genuinely extremely strong. That's it for this area, though. We have lots of side quests to do. My general philosophy with this sort of stuff is that I will do most of the boring stuff, or quote-unquote boring stuff, like repetitive stuff and so on, off-screen, and try to make sure I show you guys the actual cool stuff. So, you know, there'll be a bit of, bit more things cut out and so on, and I'll show you general cool stuff. I'll try to sort of make each video have an area of like, okay, now we're going to do this thing, now we're going to do this thing, and so on. I don't want to necessarily do every side quest. How the hell do I get up here? Please let me go. Oh, okay, I just pressed the button. That works. I don't want to be like max power as I take on Sin, because then I'm just gonna like insta-kill it, you know? That's not really that fun. But I do want to do a couple of cool things. And that's what I'm going to do. But don't worry, it's not going to be 50 episodes before we actually see the ending. But it is time to do a little bit more side quests now. I'll see you soon.